War rages across the mortal realms. New alliances are formed while others lie shattered, and the dominant powers ever seek their next conquest. While this and countless other battles rage on, one fact is becoming clear. The season of war has begun. This video is brought to you by the support of our channel members and our FLGS partner, Warpfire Minis. Today's battle showcases beautiful thematic dice from Baron of Dice. Grab your own or get a custom set made at baronofdice.com.
Hello and welcome to Season of War. We are excited to bring you another game of Age of Sigmar. My name is Jordan and I am joined by Ridge again tonight.
Hello, hello, what's up everybody?
And we are excited to debut the new Gitmob Gloomspite Gits army set that just came out, or is coming out, going on pre-order, and yeah, it's first taste of seeing these guys in action.
Yeah, lots of nice, beautiful wolves, lots of nice new models. So we'll see how the rules pan up to the amazing launch of this new Git stuff.
And like you said, most importantly, these models are beautiful. I spent the last week painting them all up, and always more work to do, but had a lot of fun with them.
It's one of the best ranges for sure, yeah.
But just before we get started, I want to say a big thank you to all our channel members who make all of our content possible. If you do enjoy our battle reports, you can get an extra one every week by becoming a channel member as well. It goes a long way in terms of helping to support the channel. Is the only reason we're able to do what we do, and hopefully continue to do it for a long time. And if you are interested, you can just hit the join button below this video to learn more. And we are notably on this coming Monday going to have another Gloomspite Gits battle report out, testing the new book, so more Gits action for you if you're excited about the new stuff. But on to today's battle. The mission we're playing today is focal points, so we've got 5 objectives on the table. You only score 1 point for each of hold 1, 2, and more on this mission, with you scoring 3 additional points if you hold both of the flanked objectives or both of the home objectives. Now, if you are the underdog, you will have the option to count the center objective as a home or flanked objective for the battle round. So that can help you if you're behind to try and score those big 3 points. But that's it for the mission. Ridge, do you want to take us through your list?
Yes, I do. So we got a big mix of stuff. Like Jordan said, we had to run all the cool wolves, so we're gonna see what they do today. So the first regiment is going to be the Snarl Boss. So he's this little dude on the wolf, and then he has his retinue. That's just going to be one of the regiments. The second regiment is going to be the big new amazing hero Drogs. So in his regiment, he has a unit of reinforced Snarlfang cavalry, so the bigger wolves. And lastly, there's 2 just single of the chariots, which are the Sunsteel Wheelas. So they're kind of cool, really fast, so they're on the flank over here. And then the third regiment is led by Scragrot, because he's just the best. He's the War Master, so he's the general. And then in his regiment, we have 20 Squig Herd, a unit of reinforced Bounders, the Gobapalooza, and 1 big old dank old Troggoth, because he's super fun, and his little rule change for his Rampage. So yeah, and then I'm gonna run the Gits manifestations because we're playing Gits, it's new, so we wanna test out the new rules with that. And with that, some of them are affected, like the Moon Endless spell is affected with the new moon, so we're gonna see how the phases work now. And yeah, I'm sure we'll have some opinions about it after the battle report, so stick around and listen to that.
Nice, and to face off against your horde of goblins is a horde of dwarves. I'm playing the Fyreslayers today, the warrior Kinbad battle formation, so this gives me +1 to wound when any of my dwarves are on the charge, so that's notable. And I do have 4 regiments here today, the first of which is led by my general Runefather on Magmadroth, and in his regiment is just 2 units of Volkite Berserkers with the paired hand axes. Now everything's modeled with the bladed sling shields in this army, but I'm running all the units as the paired or the axes, so there's no confusion there. But he's got 2 units of them in his regiment. And then my second regiment is led by an Auric Rune Master. In that regiment, I have another unit of 10 Volkite Berserkers, as well as a Doomseeker in here. So I have that sub-hero, so I can get the +2 to move seasonal buff, and the reason I took a Doomseeker is because I didn't have 10 more points to spare to get a Grimwrath Berserker, so he's here just for that buff. And And then I have 2 more regiments which are both identical. Each is led by an Auric Rune Smiter and includes another 10 Volkite Berserkers as well as a reinforced unit of 10 Hearthguard Berserkers. And both of the heroes are off the board with their respective units of Hearthguard Berserkers. They both have the Flame Strike pole axes, so doing the mortal wounds. Again, lots of bodies on the board, lots of dwarves, lots of wounds, and hopefully it'll be enough to take down all the pesky goblins. It's weird being the dwarf army and I have more hordes than the goblins today.
Yes, and squigs. Yes, It is weird.
But then I won the roll-off and made you the attacker, Ridge, and you will get to choose your seasonal buff first.
Yeah, I'm gonna go for anti-infantry. Who would have thought, on the unit of reinforced Boingrot Bounders?
And then for my seasonal ones, I already mentioned with my second one, I'll be doing Field Sergeant with my Doomseeker to give the +2 to move aura. And then just because I had more regiments, I get to pick the second one, and I'm going to do Bodyguard with my, or one of my units of Volkite Berserkers. Now that would have actually had to be my first one because that was my General's Reg, but I get 2 of the buffs.
Yeah.
And then with the 4 regiments I had, Ridge, you deployed first, or finished deploying first.
Yeah, I don't think I mind either kind of here, but I know you're probably going to be strapped for tactics, so I'm going to be a nice guy and let you go first, and yeah, see if you can, what you're going to do.
All right, let's jump into Fyreslayers turn 1. And I'll start by declaring actually my Doomseeker's Oath target or whatever. He's gonna try and slay Gerard's here today. It's a new hero, so we gotta try and take him down. But I'll get +1 hit and wound against him.
So but at the start of the battle round, I do have to declare which phase I'm gonna be in. So I'm gonna start it in Grinnin, which means my non-Squig Moon Clan, so my Gobblepalooza, and my Trogs will benefit from the Light of the Bad Moon.
All right, so my battle tactic is going to be seize the center here, no surprise. I would have loved to do take the flanks, but you can't actually fit a unit of 32 mils along this side. And then in the hero phase, my Rune Master is going to stoke the Forge to get +1 to his chanting. He gets +1 innately, or from his enhancement actually, so he'll be +2 with his 2 prayers. His first prayer is going to go on these Volkite Berserkers, and it's going to be a Prayer of Ash. And I roll a 1, so it's not going to be a Prayer of Ash. And then with his second prayer, he's just going to try and chant for the Molten Infernoth. I get a 3, +2 for 5, so it's going to fail by 1, but I'll bank those points. And that is going to be it for my hero phase. And then I'll just get into movement. And then I will deep strike one of my Auric Rune Smiters with a unit of Hearthguard Berserkers. And then lastly, I'll spend a command point for at the double to auto-run my unit of Volkites over here so I can touch the other flank objective. And Ridge, that's gonna be it for my movement phase. And I have no shooting to do, no charges. So I'm gonna wrap up my turn there and it'll be a solid start. Fyreslayers, always the turn 1 battle tactic can be spicy or dicey. It meant I had to take the center objective, which I wouldn't have actually wanted to. I could have just sat back, now you're gonna get in to hit me, but we gotta get a tactic, and again, I couldn't deploy for flanks on this one. So I'll store the hold 1, hold 2, hold more for 3 points, both of the flank objectives for another 3, and then the battle tactic for the full 10 points. And besides a little subpar performance on the chanting arena, it was a pretty good turn, can't complain, nothing really that could have failed, so it's all right, and I guess we'll get to see our first action of the Gits.
Yeah, let's get into it. Gloomspite Gits, turn 1. Alrighty, so for my tactic, as you could imagine, I'm set up to do take the flanks, so we're gonna go for that. So first, we're gonna go with the Gobblepalooza. We're gonna try to do Mork's Mighty Mushroom. So we're gonna see, no, we're gonna fail that. Next, Skragrot is gonna go for the Maleficent Moon. He's gonna get that on a 10.
And I do get 1 unbind thanks to my pizza oven, so we'll try to dispel it. We do on an 11.
Okay, never mind then. Lastly, Skragrot is gonna go for Fangs of the Bad Moon, and he's gonna target the back unit of Volkites in the middle with an 8. So that will go off, so 8 dice, and that will be 5 mortal wounds to them.
And we'll suffer all 5.
Now the Gobblepalooza is going to hit the front unit of Volkites with Mesmerize. So on a 3+, they're not going to be able to do commands. I'm going to fail that on a 1. Yeah, and that's going to be it for my hero phase.
And then I will spend a command point for Magical Intervention with my Rune Master and try and chant for the Runic Firewall. Nice. That'll be actually a 5 to a 6 to an 11 because I am +2 to chant. So we'll get that Firewall off.
Okay. Alrighty, so that's all for my movement phase.
And after your movement, I'm just going to get to pop off with the Runic Firewall. So we'll start with Gobblepalooza. No, the Wolf Riders take 3 mortal wounds.
Nice.
And are -3 to their OC. And the Trog will not take any.
So we will go into charges. Okay, so still in the charge phase, one of my favorite changes in the book. The Bounders have went back to having their good mortal wounds, so each model is a 4-up. So 10 dice for each one and 4-up mortal wounds. So that will be 4 mortal wounds to the front unit of Volkites.
We ward 1, you'll kill 1. I am going to spend my 2 command points to countercharge After All Yours because I don't think an all-out defense is going to help my 6-up saves, so we will go for a countercharge with the Hearthguard. We get a 10, and that's going to get me into the Squigs.
The new unit, the cavalry unit, does have strike first on the charge, and I am going to pop the Snarl Boss's ability to give them +1 attack because they both charged and I am within combat range of them. So the Wolves are going to put everything into the unit of Volkites in front of them. So that's 6 so far. And then now with the +1 attack from the Snarl Boss, this is all of the Wolves underneath.
So that'll be 26 damage on my wards, and you will take out that unit.
Okay, so that's my strike first, and then obviously I'm going to go next with the Squig Herd, and we're going to do all the attack, and I'm going to be splitting attacks between a bunch of dwarves. So into the Volkites, it'll be 16 at Ren 1.
I'll ward 2 and take 14 damage, so you'll kill 7 Volkites there.
And then into the Hearthguard Berserkers. And then 15 into the Hearthguard Berserkers.
Just the ward. I'll ward 3, so you'll kill 6.
The remaining Hearthguard then quickly retaliate and take down 6 squigs, but another dwarf falls to their mortal wounds. The Boingrot Bounders then attack, and easily take out another unit of Volkite Berserkers. Then lastly, the remaining 3 Volkites deal 2 wounds to the Sun Steelawheela, but then they fall when it fights back.
Sweet, so pretty effective turn 1 here. Going into this with my deployment, I was thinking about just doing flanks, putting the little hero over here with his regiment, and maybe doing something later over at this side. But because he has the actually +2 charge, that ended up working well with the Wolves and the plus attack actually on them. So although it is strange that these very ferocious wolves have no rend, they put out a lot of attacks.
Like, yeah, 2 damage flat is very notable.
Yes, the 2 damage. And into things like this, yes, dwarves are naked babies that are 6-up saves, so this is the perfect target for them. So obviously, yes, that's where a lot of that went through. Yeah,
unfortunately, could have been better positioned. My Runic Firewall didn't quite protect me, didn't quite get far enough like I hoped.
Helped easy with charges. And actually, there was something to be said with the Trog too. He, now with that 6-inch pylon, you don't have to be in combat. So he can just straight up pylon 6 and just have to be within 3. So essentially you just have to be within 9 of something, which is an awesome deterrent as like, if Jordan would have countercharged over here, I could have been within 9 and piled him in.
That's why I had to go this way. Because no matter what, you would have been able to pile into the firewall and then hit them, which I didn't want. Yeah. Now, I went to the Squigs, got hit anyways. So.
Yes, Squigs still do squig. Like, there are a million attacks at Rend 1, so, and the Bounders also being any infantry. Yeah, this was just obviously a lot of damage. So I did take the middle, I took one flank and my home, which is often what you do here. I'm not going to get the extra points, so I will score more though, so I'm just going to score 7. You still have a unit in the sky and a bunch of dwarves on that side.
Yep. First things first, though, is priority for round 2, and I kind of want this one.
Yes. Cool.
That's a 6.
I rolled a 1.
All right. We are going to take it and go into Fyreslayers turn 2. All right. So my battle tactic is going to be do not waver this round, so I have to fight with 2 units and have none slain. A little dicey, but we're going to try our best. I will start off by spending a command point to rally my Hearthguard Berserkers. And we'll heal the wound and bring one back. And then the Rune Master is going to try and chant for Prayer of Ash onto my Rune Father on Medmudroth. And we'll get that off on a 6. So he's going to be -1 to wound. And for his second prayer, he's going to chant for the Flame Spitter. And we'll get that off on a 7. And then I'm going to declare the rune of Searing Heat for this turn. So I'm going to get Mortals on the charge, and my Rune Master is going to spend his Magmic Power tokens to give me the Enhanced effect, which is also going to give me +1 rend. And that's going to be it for my hero phase. And then lastly, my Rune Smiter is going to chant for the Molten Infernoth and get a 5 and just bank those points.
So I will try to countercast the Scuttle Tide, which I will fail. I'm going to go for a rally to try to bring that wolf back, because why not? They have 3 wounds, so I should get 1 on average. And I do.
And then let's just head into movement. And then I am going to bring in my Rune Smiter with the other unit of Hearthguard. And that's going to be it for my movement phase.
Alrighty, I'm going to spend a CP to redeploy the nice new unit of Wolf Cavalry that we have. And they're going to go 4.
And then I do have some shooting, and we'll start off with Medmudroth putting his Roaring Flame Stream into your wolves. There'll be 2 at rend 1.
Take 1, make 1.
D3 damage for 2. And then the Flame Spitter will shoot at them also for 1 at rend 1.
1 damage. Okay, you kill 1.
And then it's charge the clock, and let's start off with the Deep Striking Hearthguard. We roll a 3. I'm going to spend a command point to re-roll that into a 9.
Nice.
And then the other unit of Hearthguard. Make a 4. That's not where they want to be. And then everything on the other side. And that's going to be all of my charges. And then in combat, my Rune Father will use the Raging Inferno Rampage onto your little Wolf Git boss, and that'll make him -1 to save.
All right, so then for my combat phase, I am going to go for a first the Troggoth. Dankhold Troggoth is going to do a 6-inch pile-in. I think it's Wade and Smash it's called, which now doesn't need to be in combat. So he's just going to come over here. And then the Snarl Boss has Fight Another Day. So on a 3+, he's going to be able to run away, which he does.
All right, then we'll start off combat with our unit of Hearthguard that's around our home, and we're going to spend the CP for our attack and put all their attacks into the Squid Herd. So that's going to be 26 damage going through.
All right, 8 are in range to do the Squigs Gone Wild, so 5 up mortals, and I'm going to roll 5, so 5 mortal wounds back to you.
We'll save 1 and take 4.
The Sunstealer Wheela then piles in to defend the objective and also manages to take down 2 Hearthguard.
And then we're going to fight with one of the units of Volkites into the Gobbapalooza.
Well, it takes the combined might of the dwarves to take down the Gobbapalooza. The Dankhold Troggoth fells 2 Volkites. Then the Boeing Grot Bounders completely wipe out the Hearthguard Berserkers.
All right, that's going to wrap up the Fyreslayers turn, and It was painful.
You don't sound exhilarated.
Oh gosh, yeah. Obviously, an army I haven't mastered by any means. In this edition, especially, I've struggled to get a grip on them. Still, constantly surprised me how fragile Fyreslayers are.
Yes.
Wound dense, but a 6-up save against goblins. I'm having no saves on anything. It could have been better positioned to get the 5-up ward rather than just the 6 with the Hearthguard. But still, taking notable blows. My unit of 4 Hearthguard survived, but the unit of 10 went down pretty handedly, so that was obviously painful because that does deny the battle tactic. Ridge's pile-in denied me from getting onto this objective where the plan worked, I just didn't get onto the objective, so I didn't, bigger charge or something would have
You can't go first there because then all the squig herd.
I had to kill the squig herd,
Yes.
for sure. So, all that said, I don't get more. I don't get the 2 flanks, so I'm just holding 1 and 2 objectives for 2 points.
Yeah.
But we're in the lead.
Bounders, that's like it's 61 attacks that have rend 1. So
Yeah,
if
and-
there's anything that's going to kill a bunch of 6-up save things, it's squigs.
And in deep striking, there wasn't really another opportunity. I felt that I had to go in somewhere good. And you had 2 units side by side that were both high priority targets. So if you had to redeploy 1, I still have a 9-inch charge. So
Yep.
obviously this was the downfall was I then didn't survive. So painful. But we've still got some bodies on the board and we leveled the playing field a little bit. So we can head into Gloomspite Gits turn 2.
Let's do it. Alrighty, for my tactic, we are going to go for Slay the Entourage. I am just going to pick the unit that is with the Magma Droth, and we're going to kill it. Alright, first we're going to go for a Spore Maws with Scrygrot. He is going to, we'll cast that. We're going to fail that on a 5. Next, we're going to go for a Fangs of the Bad Moon with Scrygrot, and he is going to target the Magma Droth. That is also going to fail on a 5. So, no magic. So we'll just go into movement. Okay, the Sunsteel Wheeler is going to do its movement and do its mortals to the Hearthguard here. So D3 plus 1 for 4 mortal wounds.
And you'll take them out.
Alrighty, cool. That's going to be all of my movement. And we'll go to charges. Okay, so we finished all our charges. Now we're going to do the charge phase ability from the Bounders. So we're going to put everything into the Magma Droth. That will be 6 mortal wounds, sir. So the combat ability from the Dank, he's going to pile in his 6 inches. And he is going to bonk the Volkites for 3 and the Magma Droth for 2. All right, so I do have strike first on the wolves, so they're gonna go first, and they're gonna put everything into the 10 Volkite that are beside the Magma Droth.
See all the cool wolves Daddy painted? You wanna come look? And look at the big
guys?
Yeah, the blue guys, aren't they cool? They're riding wolves, goblins riding wolves. And then there's a big boss one over there.
What's that one?
What's his name again, Ridge?
Drog.
Drog. Isn't he cool? He's a boss goblin riding a big wolf.
Why?
No, he wants to be big and scary.
Alrighty, so the riders on top are gonna have -1 attack from Bodyguard, but this will still be 3 attacks each.
And after wards, that'll be 15 damage. So you'll kill 8.
Alrighty, and then the Bounders, I'm gonna do 6 into the Magma Droth and 4 into the Volkites beside the Magma Droth.
I will go for all out defense on the Magma Droth. So after his ward save, the Magma Droth will suffer 8 more damage. So you'll take out the Magma Droth and the 3 Volkites. And then I'll just get to fight with my last remaining Volkites into Drog, your hero.
Yep, and he is going to be -1 to hit because he has Defrazzle Fangs. Defrazzle Fangs. He also could just run away here on a 4+, but I kind of want to just sit and fight those Volkites, so we'll keep him in.
The Volkite Berserkers deal 3 damage to Drogs. Then the Sun Chomper retaliates and takes down 4 of the dwarves.
Okay, so that's going to be it for the turn. Yeah, I think we had a good idea what was happening here with the surround and destroy tactic.
I didn't think, honestly, you were going to get through all of it. And I do have a couple models left, but the fragility of the dwarves continues to surprise me.
Yes, the 6-up saves, and again, we already said it. The wolves have tons of attacks, the squigs have tons of attacks. I did a cute little trick where I retreated the dank to then pile in 6.
Dude got his ability.
He did 5 mortals and then could have bonked if I needed the rend, but I just went with the other things. And again, these cavalry wolves having the strike first was just tasty. So activating a full unit of them, then the Bounders was real good. Then I did bring in Drogs to try to get some glory to do something. Now he has a couple cool abilities. I could have ran away on a 4-up, 2d6 if I needed to. He does give out the -1 to hit. So there's some utility I could definitely see with him. And then the +2 charge from the little Snarl Boss, like definitely there's some things that can kind of work together if you run a lot of the wolves. But here it was just exactly, I just pretty much picked a tactic and just killed all of the stuff there.
Yeah, it was a pretty brutal fight here. Effectively finishing off the dwarfs. I have 6 models left, but again, I don't even really have any opportunity to strap for points. Too slow, you've got too many bodies. And the Gits are still good, we'll say.
Yes, you painted up these beautiful wolf models to just do some real damage here. I already am thinking the 6-packs of the cavalry wolves seem to be very good for 240 points, so the same amount of points as 10 Bounders. So, you know, having one of those 6-packs on the flank or things like that, very strong.
Well, yeah, one of the weaknesses of Gits was always kind of, they were fragile too, right? So just getting to strike first effectively with 2 units on your turn is very big.
Yes, and a 4-up save, so they're not like like squigs that are 5-ups or herd that are 6. So it's a lot of no rend attacks as well. So obviously if you're playing into Stormcast or Slaves or things like OBR, you know, things like that, it's going to be a little different. They're going to bounce off, but they're a good little skirmishing unit, I think, on the sides. The Chariots, the Wheelers, they did acute 4 mortal wounds and like they are a good unit to take their flanks, but they're 150 points. So even 3 wolves is 120, which is just way better than them. The mortal wounds, you can run them with the hero and then they get 18-inch move and do some mortal wounds, and that could be kind of cool. Like a full wolf army would be cool. Not like crazy competitive, but like
I mean, still solid though. But yeah, the lack of rend is what's a limiting factor.
Yeah, when you run into that. But Bounders, that change, Jesus, which I knew that's one of everyone's favorite units. Like, it's just a crazy amount of attacks. And then I did 4 mortals first time and 6 the second time. So going back to that charge ability is very good.
But yeah, I think with that, we can call it a minor victory for the Gloomspite Gits. Just barely pulling this one out, but obviously a great showcase of the army and the new units, so we're super pumped about that. And like we've said from the top, beautiful models. I had a ton of fun painting them. So happy they performed here on the table as well. But with that, we'll wrap things up, Ridge, and say a big thank you to everyone for watching. Don't forget, if you want extra content and to see another Gloomspite Gits battle report in 2 days' time, you can check out our YouTube membership and join that to get access. But either way, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you soon in another battle report.
Have a good week, everybody.